Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another amazing episode of 52 Authors, 52 Weeks. Today, I am joined by Nathaniel Terry, author of Before the World Moves On. Welcome to the show, Nathaniel.
Thank you for having me.
So, why don't you start off by telling our listening, viewing audience a little bit about you as a person before we get into your book of poetry?
Okay, a little bit about me. I'm a poet, storyteller, and as you just mentioned, an author. I'm a very creative person, so I try and put, life experiences into words, into music, sometimes visually if I can. I'm a man of faith. I have a strong faith and belief in God. Um, I like the country. I like staying out the way. I like fishing, going on trails, going on hikes, stuff like that.
Okay, and you got to tell everybody where you're from,
Oh, I was born in Rochester, New York.
but you're currently. Oh wait, are you in New Orleans or New Orleans Saints? Just your football team?
No, the Saints are just my football team.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? Chicago Bears, my number one team, but I do follow several quarterbacks. Primarily because for the first time in a long time, we have a lot of young African American QBs, and I just like to watch their journey. You know what I mean? I feel like the auntie that's sad when they get hurt. So when Jaden Daniels got hurt the other day, I was just, oh my gosh, that was not a good game for me to go to sleep on afterwards watching that injury. So I don't know if you saw it, but yeah, it really hurts. But I am a lover of the game, but I also am very interested in the players and their stories. So I'm sad when it's February and football is over.
No, I know what you mean. Like even when my team, well, they've had several bad seasons the last couple seasons. I'm still a fan of different players. Like you say, I like watching their journey, especially what's happening with the quarterbacks now. It's never been like this before, so it's a real exciting time.
It is. And then I'm also a nerd. So I have this goal. I'm 52 right now, but I have this goal of visiting all the stadiums by the time I turn 60. And so some I visited but haven't watched the game, and then
Hmm.
others I've been to watch the game. But definitely not only just a lover of the sport and their journeys, I also like to see what they do once they no longer can do football, which for some is a struggle.
Hmm.
Some have written books. So I got Malcolm Jenkins' book up there because he wrote a book, he's a football player. I just love to follow, what they do afterwards. And I'm always rooting for them to come out on top because it's a hard job to be a football player.
It is. How many stadiums have you visited?
So I don't have my list open, but as you know, there are 32 teams, but they're not 32 stadiums because several of them share. So I
Hmm.
probably have been to 10 so far.
Okay.
And so what I do a lot of traveling. So if I'm in a particular state and I have and if they have a stadium tour, I will go and see the tour because sometimes getting inside the building for the game is like very expensive.
Hmm.
And so I just love going to see behind the scenes when the Chicago Bears has their annual draft party. I always go to that, even though on a couple of occasions when they called our picks, my husband was like, let's go. Like one year, they drafted Mitch Trubisky. And as soon I had just poured a glass of wine, had a glass of wine poured, my husband was like, let's go.
Right
So
now.
definitely into it from all angles. So, and I know that's like not a girly thing to do, but I'm just really into it, right? And I think part of it is just because I love to read and learn about new things and just keep an open mind about everything.
See, the way you feel about football, and I'm a Saints fan, I feel about WWE. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Ever since I was a kid, I'm a big nerd when it comes to that. I love it. Even now in my 40s, I still watch it.
Hey, you know what? You got to have something to take your mind off of what's happening in the world. And before the world moves on, which you published in I think it was May of this year,
Yes, yes.
very timely because we all experience a lot of things, and many of us don't want to share. We don't want to reveal what we've gone through. And so let's talk a little bit about the why behind this particular book.
Well, the interesting thing about it is I didn't even realize I was writing that book. A lot of those poems were carried over or poems that I started after I had written the previous book. So I got to about this time last year, and I'm like, wow, I've been sending stuff off to different magazines, journals, and even different publishers. I'm like, I have a manuscript right here. So I start putting it together. And a lot of it, especially the stuff I wrote last year, is really based on what was happening in this country, over in the Sudan, you know what I mean, over in Gaza, you know what I mean. If it's not directly, it's indirectly. I'm talking about different things. So I was trying to get tapped into that. I really had to lock in to make this book happen. So it was about, I'm going to say 6 months of solid writing, looking. I really don't watch much television, but the news headlines, news caps, different podcast stuff like that. And I tried to put that all together.
Yeah, and sometimes watching the TV will definitely hold you hostage
Hmm.
mentally and physically. And a lot of people don't realize that to some extent it's designed to kind of suck you in. And I will admit I definitely watch the news just because I want to just know what's going on in a variety of areas. But I do have to protect my mental space when I'm watching the news because sometimes you're like, did that just happen? No, that
But not
really
only that,
happened.
not only that, they don't hide. I mean, there are a lot of good things happening in the world. And watching the news, sometimes you would think that nothing good is happening. You know what I mean? Like you said, it is a device to control us in a sense.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you were able to complete this book. And so I have a question about just the general concept of completion, right? So, what does completing this book mean to you from the perspective of your faith, pain that you've experienced, and just your overall growth?
Oh wow. I grew in a lot of areas, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. I grew in a lot of areas because again, I had to lock in. I cut so much out of my life out, even people, and I just focused. So for me to be able to tell those stories and put it together in a collection, tell those stories with the passion that I did, I mean, it means a lot to me.
And it makes you proud that you were able to actually get it done, right? In spite of whatever you had to go through to get it done, once you're holding it in your hand, it's like it's real.
Right? It is. It
And
is.
it's going to be here after you're no longer here, right? People will be able to find it on Amazon.
And that's the beauty of it. I'm leaving something. I mean, I'd like to think a positive mark on this world when I'm no longer here. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah,
with the way they're banning books now, I don't know if it's going to be around 100 years from now. You know, I
that
like to
part.
think I mean a mark in this world, a positive.
Yes. So I don't know about you, but for me, when I wrote my first book, I went through a healing process, like where I literally went back in time and thought about some things that I had gone through. And really, as I was writing, the first chapter that I actually wrote, I opened up Zoom and just started talking to Zoom.
Hmm.
And then the end result was a video that I sent to my publisher, which she then had transcribed, and I had a chapter. And as I went from one chapter to the next, I found myself just literally bawling, crying, like all these emotions that I didn't realize I had inside of me were sitting there. And Jay-Z wrote this song, and I can't think of the name of it. I think it's on the 444 album. But basically, one of his songs was like, "You can't heal what you don't reveal."
Mm.
And so, for you, how has writing been a form of spiritual reflection or healing in your own life? Like, what did it do for you?
Oh, it was definitely healing because it provided me a channel to be able to express things and deal with things that I had buried or I didn't want to deal with. And that's why certain poems and certain stories are written certain ways, because they are events, you know what I mean, or loosely based on things that I had gone through, seen, experienced, or felt. So it was very healing, especially reading it back. It's like, whoa. And it takes me right back to the year, the date, the time, or the situation, whatever that experience was. And in that sense, I was able to, I guess, in a way, get closure, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely. Again, you can't heal what you won't reveal. And writing and going through that process, it forces you to revisit the situation, but it also makes you realize I survived it. I'm still here. And you got to let it go. And I've been doing some extensive research on this, that people as a whole have so many things inside of us that oftentimes have nothing to do with us as a person, but has to do with um, our mothers and fathers and grandfathers. This intergenerational stuff that is embedded in us, and if we don't identify it and heal from it and move forward, the generations behind us are going to have to deal with it. So it's
Hmm.
good to let it go.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. Because, like you said, and then they're just going to keep passing it along. Like I wrote a piece, "Cycle of Carnage," and it's just talking about the damnation of the bloodline, because it's just keep getting passed. The toxicity is passed from one generation to the next, and so on and so forth.
And it once you realize it, you'll be like, "Oh, yeah, we need to do something about it." But you know what I really struggle with are the people who don't want to go through the process, the healing process. My heart aches for them because I know what it feels like to feel more lighter and free after you revisit it and let it go.
Hmm.
It's like we bury so much of our lives, right? Because of what we think people are going to say about us, when in actuality, you sharing your journey helps others heal.
Hmm. Well, I mean, like healing takes work, and unfortunately, some people just aren't willing to put in the work. It's a process, and sometimes it's a long process.
Hmm. A long process.
Right, right.
So, I feel like in the book, you are really transparent. And when you said these some of these events are loosely based on my life, I just immediately thought about some TV shows that I watch where they make that statement. But as you navigated writing the book, were you thinking about what message you wanted the readers to walk away with, or were you just writing?
Yes and no. Some of it was like, okay, this is me. I'm getting this out here. I don't care how you take it. This is just, you know what I mean, how I'm feeling. Other ones was like, okay, that's how I felt then, but I don't feel this way now. Or, okay, yeah, I'm writing how I felt at that moment, but this is giving the wrong message. Let me change this up, change that up. So, yes and no. It depended on the piece and what the message that was going to send out that I would be comfortable with or I wouldn't be comfortable with.
Yeah, because once you put it out there on in the world, it's difficult to take it back. So I definitely understand that process of, yeah, this is what really went down, but let me change this just a tad bit because some people may interpret it the wrong way, really because they just don't understand. And
Mhm.
then some people are just so sensitive that they just take everything the wrong way.
True. You
So,
wake up with a reason to find a problem with something. Yeah.
oh, wake up. in the morning, early in the morning, when you're supposed to be well rested and really at your best, wake up with anger and hate and all the things.
You're supposed to be thanking God for another day, and here you are.
Yes. Because some, you know what? It's so funny that you mentioned that. Because this morning on the day that we recorded this episode, I went downstairs to get my breakfast started, and my husband was actually already downstairs. And I said, "Good morning," and he said, "What's so good about this morning?" And I replied simply that we woke up
Amen.
to see another day, because a lot of people did not make it.
Amen.
So I would love to have you read one of your poems, just because I can definitely read it. And But I don't think it's gonna have the same impact.
Okay. Oh man.
Let me tell you something. One part I liked. This was reasons. If I cut you out my life, please
Oh.
know I did everything.
Oh,
Woo.
I found one. This is one of my favorites, and this piece is called Timeline, and it's found on page 2. At this stage in my life, my question with almost everything I face is, what am I to learn from this situation to make me better? Or how can I use this opportunity to grow? Why is now less of importance to me. How usually always piques my interest. I'm not ashamed of much, but regret, now that's a whole different story. I want to share with you how I truly feel, but I care about your feelings, so I pretend I'm at a loss for words. Deception plays out minute by minute, but if I bite my tongue, I cannot be admonished for claiming that what is proven to be true is not. I wish I had been strong enough not to cheat. I wish I never developed an infatuation for stealing. Nights like this, I miss my team. I hate that I paid little attention to all the hints on that warm autumn night. I fear that it may be too late. I can honestly say that I am not ashamed of much, but regret, now that's a whole different story.
I love it. And you see what I mean by you reading it? But I definitely can read that one that I was just telling you about, because that really spoke to me, because one of my major missions in life is to help people get rid of what no longer serves us.
Mm,
And it's my mission because I know what it's like to allow myself to be held hostage with um, jobs, relationships, friendships, situationships. I know what that feels like. And if I had to do it all over again and I had the tools that I have now, I would have walked away from some of those things much sooner than I did.
mhm. But that's
So,
life, you know? You know what I
yes,
mean?
that is life. But you know what? What I have found as a person so in addition to interviewing 52 authors each year, I do a lot of reading. And so as I am on this personal journey to just be the better version of myself, to be a person who can help others in their journeys. I'm learning so much about myself, but I'm also constantly getting new tools that I can help someone else. Sometimes I'm in the swimming pool, I go to water aerobics every day. And sometimes I'm in the pool and I'll just say something to somebody. We're having a conversation, and it's literally something I got from a book. And it's like some words of encouragement, just from what we're talking about at that particular moment.
It's universal, you know what I mean? You learn it, you receive it, and then you're able to give it to someone else.
Absolutely. So this book came out May 2025. What else is going on in your life from an artistic perspective, and what does the future hold for you?
Well, right now, currently, my other book is in rotation. That was published September 20th. So I'm working on that. I'm working on my fifth book. I'm still working on a title, so I don't want to say what I want to call it because I know I'm gonna give you a title on here, and then next week I'm gonna come up with something else. So I'm working on that one. I'm applying for residencies, different speaking opportunities, festivals, conferences, fellowships, things like that. Just trying to get my work out there in different bookstores, libraries across the country and international. So I've been busy.
I love it. I was just telling another author that one of my dreams for my next book that I probably have been working on for about, I would say, well, yeah, next year it'll be 3 years that I've been working on it.
Mhm.
But in the process of working on the book, I've been working on myself, and many things have happened because of the writing process. And every day I think about the impact that I want it to have. I just get more and more excited. And so, my goal for 2026 is to have my book, my new book, in rotation around the world, and just really spread the message that I think is something that we all need to hear.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's
So,
a good goal to have.
yes, and I think sometimes we limit our potential by saying, "Oh, well, I'm not published by Parker House, so I can't do XYZ," right? But the fact of the matter is, if you put together a plan and you have vision, you can make it happen. It may be a different path than some others have to go through, but you definitely can go that same route. That same route. It's just maybe a different way you got to get there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You definitely have to have a plan and you have to be willing to put the work in. It's especially like you said, without a big publishing house or an agent to push you, you gotta do the emails. You know how it is. You really gotta put that work in to see success, and it's gonna take years.
But if you have that vision and your vision is just you keep refining it and it's real tight,
Mm-hmm.
it may not take years. It could just take a year if you play your cards right.
Well, that's true. I was just speaking from my personal experience, how long it's taken. No, it's true. It does happen when you have the right plan.
Yes, and the more
Planning is the
experience.
hard part though. Writing is the easy part. The promotion and marketing and all that. That's where it gets difficult.
Yes, but you know what I have found that I for my next book, I have a draft of the book. It's 10 chapters, but I take a lot of breaks from I'm not going to say the writing process because what I'm doing right now is logging on to Zoom, reading the book to myself, really reflecting on what's the message of that chapter. What do I want the reader to experience? But then I take a break from that, and I'm literally my assistant. I have her. We're researching bookstores. We're sending emails out about how to do a book signing at a particular location, and really being strategic before I've even sent the book to my publisher. I'm
Hmm.
putting all of that infrastructure in place first. So once I have the book and it's ready to go, I'm already set up to move in those different spaces.
I like that.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
like that.
So, in addition to writing your book, I'm pretty sure because I was on your social media channels, you do some other things too.
Yes, yes. I do
So,
spoken word, create videos.
what kind of videos? Somebody might need a video made.
Um, just like spoken word videos. I'm still learning to record myself. That's the hardest part, trying to find the right camera angle and all that, because I do everything myself. But yeah, most of my poems, well, not well, yeah, a lot of my poems are on my YouTube page that are in the book. And I try to use that to try and bring eyes in, and hopefully they'll click the link. And it's still a work in progress, but what I do is YouTube lets you use licensed music as long as it's under a minute. So A lot of the beats that I grew up listening to, even now, I just use instrumentals and speak over them. As long as it's under a minute or right at a minute, I can get away with it. So that's how I've been promoting
Mm.
myself for the most part. That and my website.
Yeah, and you know what? So when it comes to just promoting your brand overall, that definitely is a journey. When you talk about cameras, I'm reminded of I used to have a commercial office space. And so when I first started recording 52 Authors, 52 Weeks, I was in my commercial office space, the different lighting and the cameras and all of that, and was going through all kind of changes emotionally, mentally, physically, just to get one video recorded. And since I've moved out of that commercial space back at home, I have let go of all of the things that I felt were holding me back, right? Like, oh, is my hair? Do I got some hair sticking up? And oh, I said an extra word. I realized that if I focus on my message, the mess won't even matter.
Nope. Nope. Yep. You weren't. Yeah. You so trying to make it perfect instead of just getting your story out, your message out, and then you can edit that and work that out later. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we are almost out of time. I would love for you to do two things. One, I would love for you to, if you can do something off the top of your head, give us some form of spoken word, even if it's another poem. But first, tell our listening, viewing audience where they can find you.
Okay. You can find me on YouTube at Nate J Story 4994. You can find me on Instagram at Nate J Story, and you can find me on X at Nate J Story. Off the top of my head, I can't do that, but I can find something else and read it to you. This is one of my favorites too, because it's something I say every day, and it's titled Prayer. Heavenly Father, I thank you for blessing me to live to see another day. I thank you for your covering and protection that got me through yesterday. And I ask for your covering and protection to get me through the rest of this day. God, I give you praise, all glory, and honor. In your matchless and most high name I pray. Amen.
Amen. I love it. That is a great way to end. I think um the younger generation, they don't realize they still surviving off of the prayers of grandmothers and great grandmothers. And my prayer is that they learn how to pray for themselves, because there are some situations that happen in life that you need to pray about so you can move on.
Oh, absolutely. I never would have made it this far without prayer.
Woo! They don't even know, do they?
No, no.
Well, I want to thank you so much for being a part of 52 Authors, 52 Weeks. I'm glad that we were able to get you on in 2025, which is the year that your book came out, or this particular book came out. And I look forward to seeing what you are going to do next. I follow you on your social media channels, so I'll just be like the little secret squirrel, just seeing what you got going on, looking at your videos and all of that. And I wish you the best of luck with everything that you want to do, and that God gives you the desires of your heart.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It really was a pleasure. I enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you so much. All right, everyone. I just finished chatting with Nathaniel Terrell, author of Before the World Moves On. We will see you on next week. Bye bye now.